It's the only word for it. While you were at work today, while you were paying your bills, while you were trying to hold this country together, a civil war erupted inside number 10, Downing Street. The Labour government, the very institution meant to provide stability, has collapsed into a pathetic, squabbling mess of backstabbing and ambition. They're not governing. They are fighting. They are sharpening their knives, not for Britain's enemies, but for each other's backs. The corridors of power aren't filled with the business of the state, they are echoing with the hissed whispers of plots and the frantic scrabbling of cowards securing their own futures. This isn't a government in crisis. This is a gang imploding. A cabinet of careerists who have achieved their lifelong ambition only to find they despise each other more than they despise the opposition. They have ceased to function. The engine of state has stalled, choked by their vanity and paranoia. And it begs the most terrifying question of all: if they are consumed by their own civil war, who is actually in charge of our country? Don't expect to see the truth on the BBC. Don't wait for a headline in The Guardian. They'll call it Westminster gossip. Internal party dynamics. They will deploy their army of smirking pundits from their ivory towers to tell you this is all perfectly normal, a robust exchange of views within a healthy party. They will lie to you with a straight face because the reality is too devastating for them to admit. This isn't a simple disagreement. This isn't politics as usual. This is the death rattle of a failed state. This is the final, ugly act of a government that has betrayed every promise it ever made. They have broken Britain, and now they are breaking themselves. This chaos was not an accident. It was an inevitability. It is the direct result of handing the keys to the kingdom to a party of self-serving narcissists, led by a man with no authority, no vision, and no spine. You must understand, this chaos is also a smokescreen. A grand diversion. While the nation is mesmerized by their pathetic Game of Thrones, what laws are they sneaking through? What new taxes are they dreaming up? What fresh surrenders to foreign powers, to the courts in Strasbourg or the globalists at the WHO, are they signing in the dead of night? This isn't a plot to change policy for the better. This is a desperate, grubby scramble for power. The ship is sinking, the iceberg has struck, and the so-called officers are now fighting each other for a seat on the last lifeboat, while the British people are left to drown in the icy water. They see the polls. They know the game is up. They know the country hates them. So they've decided to burn the whole thing down on their way out. Their secret motive? It's not a secret at all. It's pure, uncut, selfish ambition. They don't care about your mortgage, your safety, or your children's future. They care about one thing and one thing only: who gets to be the captain of the sinking ship, and who gets to loot the cabins before it goes under. And so the great divide in Britain is laid bare, clearer than ever before. A brutal two-tier system, a chasm between the rulers and the ruled. On one side, you have the Westminster elite. The Labour cabinet. Keir Starmer, Wes Streeting, Angela Rayner, David Lammy. They swan between television studios and subsidised bars, their entire world confined to a few square miles of London. Their biggest problem today is whether their secret plotting will leak to the press. They fight over titles, red boxes, and the privilege of standing at a podium, lying to the nation. They are insulated from the consequences of their own catastrophic decisions. Their energy bills are paid by you. Their streets are patrolled by private security. Their gold-plated pensions are guaranteed. They live in a different country to the rest of us, a bubble of privilege funded by your labour and your taxes. On the other side of that divide, there is you. The real Britain. There are the pensioners, people who built this country with their bare hands, now sitting in the cold, staring at a smart meter, forced to choose between heating and eating because this government's insane green taxes have sent bills into the stratosphere while they preach to us from their heated mansions. There are the young families, a husband and wife working every hour God sends, who will never own a home, never have a garden for their kids, because this government's open-door mass immigration policy has weaponized the housing market against them, creating endless, soul-crushing competition for every flat, every school place, every GP appointment. You can't get a dentist, you can't see a doctor, because the system is collapsing under the weight of millions of new arrivals that they invited and you are forced to pay for. There are the small business owners, the backbone of our economy, being systematically crushed under the weight of corporation tax hikes and a tidal wave of regulations dreamed up by globalist bureaucrats in Brussels and rubber-stamped by traitors in London. There are the farmers, the custodians of our green and pleasant land, watching their fields lie fallow, driven to despair, unable to compete with cheap, low-standard imports from countries that laugh at our net-zero targets. And then there is the ultimate, unforgivable humiliation. There are the British veterans, men who wore the King's uniform, men who faced down our enemies and risked their lives for this flag, now sleeping rough on the very streets their grandfathers fought and died to defend. While this same government, these same plotters and schemers, spend billions of your money housing illegal migrants, men of fighting age from safe countries, in 4-star hotels. 3 hot meals a day, clean sheets, spending money. It's not just a two-tier system. It's a moral inversion. It's a declaration of contempt for their own people. While the Labour Party engages in a pathetic circular firing squad, your country is being dismantled piece by piece. Your wages are being taxed into oblivion to pay for it all. Your voice is being ignored. They are fighting for power. You are fighting for survival. This isn't a government. It's a protection racket that has turned on itself. They have declared war on each other because they have already completed their war on you. And at the heart of this rotten edifice is the Prime Minister himself. Sir Keir Starmer. A man of straw. A political hologram. A walking, talking surrender. The accidental leader who promised competence and delivered only collapse. He is a captain lashed to the mast of his own ship, a spectator to his own demise, a ghost haunting the corridors of power. A man so utterly devoid of leadership, so transparently weak, that his own health secretary is openly, shamelessly plotting his removal. We all saw the footage. Westminster, the smirking assassin, the heir apparent of failure, on live television. The interview puts it to him directly, a question born from whispers coming from Starmer's own office. Are you plotting to oust the Prime Minister? Watch his face. Watch the flicker in his eyes. He tries to be clever, making pathetic, rehearsed jokes about JFK and Lord Lucan. But when he is pushed, when he is asked for a straight answer, the lie is plain for all to see. No, he says, with the conviction of a child caught with his hand in the biscuit tin. A pathetic, transparent denial that convinces nobody. We are not idiots. This isn't coming from nowhere. It's coming from Starmer's own aides. His own team is briefing against him. They know he's finished. Streeting is just the first serpent to break cover, the first rat to test the strength of the floorboards on the sinking ship. But be warned. Be very careful what you wish for. You may despise Starmer, and rightly so. But look at the gals waiting in the wings. Look at the B-team of national destruction. We're Streeting, a man who would sell his own grandmother for a moment's spotlight, a careerist whose vision for the NHS is more bureaucracy, more waste, more failure. Angela Rayner, the queen of hypocrisy, who lectures the working class on fairness while playing the property market and claiming expenses that would make a Roman emperor blush. And then, the ultimate nightmare scenario, the final nail in Britain's coffin, Prime Minister David Lammy. A man who has spent his entire career apologising for Britain. A man who despises our history, sneers at our traditions, and sees our people not as patriots but as a problem to be managed. A man who would accelerate the surrender of our sovereignty, the erasure of our culture, and the managed decline of our nation into a footnote of history. This isn't a choice between bad and good. It's a choice between the abyss and the inferno. And while this band of traitors squabbles, there is only one voice of sanity. Only one man who saw this all coming. Nigel Farage. While Labour was promising a socialist utopia, he warned it would end in tears, taxes, and turmoil. While the Conservatives were surrendering on every front, he was fighting. Reform UK told you that a Labour government would mean economic ruin and social chaos. They told you these people were not fit to govern. And as they now tear each other to pieces in front of a horrified nation, that truth has never been more obvious. They are broken. They are finished. This government is a corpse, twitching its way to the grave. But the damage they are doing in their death throes is devastating. The chaos they create is not contained to Westminster. It spills out onto our streets, into our homes, into our lives. As they fight over the wreckage of Number 10, our borders remain open. Our taxes continue to rise. Our police continue to lose control of our cities. Our country continues to slide into the abyss. Every moment they spend plotting against each other is a moment a new boat of illegal migrants lands on our shores. Every headline about their infighting is a cover for another £1 billion of your money wasted. They are fiddling while Britain burns. So I ask you this. As the Labour Party implodes, as the rats turn on each other in a final, desperate battle for a sinking ship, who is left to fight for Britain? Who is left to speak for you? They want you distracted by their palace intrigue. They want you to watch their pathetic drama series and forget about the deliberate, systematic destruction of your country. Do not give them the satisfaction. They are not the story. You are. The fight back is the story. Share this video. Drag their failure, their treachery, their utter contempt for you, into the light. Let every man and woman in this nation see the contemptible, self-serving charade for what it is. Let your comment below be a roll call for the resistance, a digital declaration of independence from this failed elite. They have failed. It's over. The real question is, what comes next?